Okay, we are moving on to David Dobrik update. So let me just play this video. Some of you guys probably already saw it, but I'm going to play it for those of you who haven't. This video was, this is the backstory, and this is awesome because it was posted to a highlights channel, which is like a fan account of David's. And the timing was so weird because they dug up this clip of them talking about the Seth prank back on the podcast. It was like a total expose, but they were like posting it on the fan channel. I don't know if they were just trying to get views on it or what, or what do you, why
what do you mean it was a fan channel? What was the channel? You know it's a fan channel.
Okay, well, first of all, this video, there's like a views clip channel.
But it's not theirs.
No, it was a fan channel.
How do you know it's a fan though? It could be a hater being like exposing these people.
I guess, but whatever. It was just a clip channel where they were just like, you know, getting easy.
Was it all scandalous clips or?
No. That's what I mean.
And what was his title?
It was David speaks on Seth kissing Jason prank.
And this is new. They just uploaded it since
they just uploaded it like 2 days ago. But it's the most compelling, illuminating take on this whole thing. And just so you know, David's MCN did an MCN takedown on this video. Like the day after we showed it on our podcast. Here, I'll show you. I have a screenshot.
Yeah, the New York Times ran a story on his new like app, but not this. I'm like,
of course.
And they're like, oh, disposable, whatever the fuck it is. And then it was like, but he literally has all these like, is this like actual assault too? That you could go to like, there could be like a, I don't know. I hope there's something because like you're saying, the only way to get through is like a lawsuit. Otherwise, they just keep going. Like there's gonna be fans.
Immediately after our podcast, this clip, can you see it, Dan? This video contains content from Collab DRM, who has blocked it on copyright ground. Now, mind you, there's like thousands of clips on this channel, none of which are being removed.
Yeah, of course, it's this incriminating.
So, but like, dude, how about you just acknowledge it instead of trying to sweep all this up?
Are you going to show it?
Of course, I'm going to show it.
Well, why don't they take ours down?
Hey, I got lawyers and I got money and I got nothing better to do.
Oh my God, I love this.
Like David, he's not going to take this shit
love
down.
this attitude. I love it when you're this Ethan, where you're like, let's do it.
Listen, nobody fucking going to silence me. If there's one thing, I don't back down from a fight, especially one.
You're like a low-key boss. Like you are. Like I wish you
baby boss. I look like a boss baby here right now.
No, but like I wish you would have included clips of us going into Rolls Royce because you went in with like Teddy Fresh shorts, an open can of soda, and you walked into this Rolls Royce place, and I was like, this is kind of boss right now because we're supposed to be like at Ogara. You want to be like more like, you know, dressed nice to be like, you know, we're respectful here, but you're just like, don't give a fuck.
Ogara.
Oh, are we not supposed to say that where you got
no, I don't care. I was just like, I don't care about these people.
You literally, and you also didn't see the car. You're just like, I'll take it. I was like, oh my God, boss.
Okay,
like,
cool. I'm glad I impressed you. Okay, let's watch this. Here.
Oh, let's talk about this. What
it
really
proves
made
everything.
me happy. What? Today, we pulled a prank.
It proves everything even worse than I thought. And by the way, I can't get over how Jason goes, wet. Listen to Jason.
Let's talk about this. What really made me happy. What? Today, we pulled a prank on...
He's such a...
I feel bad for Jason. He's such a little
Don't feel bad for him.
He's like a eunuch. You know what that is? Like from Game of Thrones where they chop their dick off.
Totally him.
Yeah.
That's the vibes.
He's like so neutered to David.
Eunuch?
Yeah, eunuch.
Total eunuch.
They chop the dick and the balls off so they can't have kids, and so they can't be committed to their work.
That's literally him with David. Like David has his dick.
There you go.
Cool.
Shout out.
Oh, let's talk about this. What really made me happy.
What?
Today we pulled a prank on my friend Seth.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. And now you can talk about it.
It's probably the best prank I've ever pulled on anyone, in my opinion. We have this scary mask that we've been pranking people with, and it's just a scary mask, and everyone knows that it's a mask. And I told Seth, hey man, I want to do this bit. It's like a dream sequence where you make out with the mask guy, and it just looks like you're dreaming and you're making out with an old man because the mask makes you look like an old man. And I'm like, Corinna's going to be in it, and Corinna's a girl in my vlogs, and he thinks Corinna's really attractive. So
Corinna's kind of like the hot girl in David's vlogs.
Yeah. So he's like, yeah, I'm totally down. And I'm like, yeah, Seth, just don't hold back. You can make out as much as you want. Have as much tongue as you want. Just keep.
So that to me is first disturbing thing is that he encouraging Seth to make out and go for it and use tongue as much as he wants.
Right. You couldn't just do like a kiss prank.
Yeah, no, he's like, go for it. It's Corinna. You like her. So that's number one creepy vibe.
Her. But what Seth didn't know is that I replaced Corinna with Jason. So Jason was under the mask. And everyone
Jason is such a fucking creep. How he's like, dude, how are you okay? And like laughing, and he's like, it's like, dude, how would you have any?
I know.
It's so gross.
Oh no, like it makes me physically sick. I feel like just because like they did so much of this stuff, like, right? Or like Seth is like one person speaking out about it, but they did so much. There's a kid in the vlogs named Jonah. He'll never speak out on him because he's still friends and like up their ass or whatever. He's like
he's on their video still though.
Yeah, he's the fat.
Go ahead, say it.
I don't mean that in a negative way. I'm
yeah,
fat.
see,
It's fat.
Yeah, he's fat.
But like
peace and love.
They put him in peace and love. They put him in so many like really bad positions, like dangerous positions. They would have him like flash people, and like he wouldn't want to. Like he flashed me, and like I did not want to see his penis. Like his penis.
What? They made him
in the vlogs. Like he'd be like, Jonah, pull your pants down, and people would just like laugh and be like, ah, like
what?
It's in the vlogs, and he did it, and like Jonah would be like weird.
Oh my
about
god,
it.
why is he? That's like sexual.
I didn't want to see it. I got flashed. I never asked for it. I was like, and then there was like a bit where like, it's Joe was like sunbathing it with like David or someone else, and they were like naked, and like I'm like they were constantly like flashing people, but Jonah did a lot, and I was just like, how is that okay? Like exposing yourself, like it's so crazy. So, anyways, my point is like watching this makes me physically sick because they thought it was so funny, and the worst part about this is even when I came out with my shit about like Brandon dating the 17-year-old, they wanted me to apologize. Like if you just apologize to David and Brandon, like everything will be okay. And I was like, apologize for what? Like it was always that mentality.
Dude, I literally
it's so sick.
hate these two guys after listening to this. It goes on, it gets worse and worse.
Everyone in the room's like, this isn't going to work.
Everyone doubted you. Yeah.
Everyone, Brandon, Corinna, like, this isn't going to work. This is stupid.
Because of the size difference.
Because of the size
about
difference.
6 feet.
Another important thing was that people were saying he was in on it. There was no way it could be real because of the size difference. Like people were saying they thought Seth was in on it.
Because
because of the size difference. So that's what people who were
Aren't
accusing
they
Seth
sitting?
of lying. Yeah, but he walks in. But I'm just saying the fact that they acknowledge that here proves once again what we all knew is that that Seth was not in on this, right?
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's clear. I
It's
think.
about 5'6".
And then the bit starts going, and Seth is there sitting on the couch. Jason walks in as Corinna. He's not speaking, obviously. Sits next to her. Seth leans in, and as he's leaning in, I'm like, fuck yeah, I got it. It's game over. It's in the bag.
I sit down, I put my hand on Seth's knee, and I put my hand behind his back and start rubbing his back and squeezing his knee.
Wait, what?
And then he
just leans in and just goes at it.
I slip him the tongue first.
This is also a common thing that Jason keeps saying with all these jokes with Tana. It was a joke with Tana, like I leaned in for the kiss, and it was like a joke for the vlog. And she goes, there was no cameras recording. Like it's constantly this thing, like, oh, I put my hand on his back, and that's like not part of the gag. That's not.
Okay, so Jason says he put his hand on his knee and on his back, and he slipped him the tongue first. Do you know how disturbing that is? So once again, they put Seth in the situation. They tricked him, and Jason made the first move by putting his tongue into his mouth. You know, Seth said something interesting in the interview we did with him. He thinks that, and it made it even kind of worse for him in a way, is that he thinks Jason was getting sexual gratification from this.
I don't doubt it.
Which is, Seth is right. That makes it more disturbing. I mean, it's already disturbing.
If it happened, like, and it happened twice, not that it needed to happen, but if he said, like, I put my hand on his knee back, like, anyone who's doing, like, a kissing prank, I don't even know if it's like a thing, but like when you're doing that, like it's not like you do everything else with it. Like that's not part of it. That wasn't the thing David set up. Like, okay, we're gonna have you caressing it. Like it's
caressing his leg, his thigh.
That does sound like taking advantage of being in a prank. Like that was their thing. It's like, oh, it's for the vlog, so it's okay. Like.
Right, that's their justification for literally anything. Of course he did.
Like I was saying with the Tana thing too, when he like kissed her for the vlog, even though there's no cameras. He's like he uses the excuse like, oh, it was for the vlog, when in reality he just wanted to like be a pervert.
Here's where it really works. I say, oh, it's for the podcast. I bleached my hair, right, for the podcast. I shave off my eyebrows for the podcast. Sexually, whoa, back it up. I can't say that. Essay, right, Dan? Yeah. Thank you, YouTube. I have to say essay. Yeah. That's not something you can do for a gag, is my point.
Yeah.
This is a gag, right? Assaulting someone, not a gag.
Yeah, I think that's probably something everyone agrees on.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, you would think that there would be something in your brain, especially Jason being like nearly 50 years old with kids, where you'd be like, okay, I have a mask on. I'm slipping my tongue down this dude's throat. I'm touching him in sexually suggestive ways. They would think
consent, with no consent.
Of course, no consent. They would think like, there's something about this that I should not be doing.
He doesn't think that at all. Like, even when our situation happened, he literally still was just like, Brandon did nothing wrong with dating a minor. You're being crazy. Like, there's nothing wrong with any of this. Like, he kept saying that to me, like I was the one. And I was just like, like, he doesn't think he did anything wrong. He had another incident with like an 18-year-old, like after we had broken up, and like she had DM'd me or whatever, and he's just like, there's nothing wrong with it. She's 18, she's not. And it's like, there was a situation, and I'm not gonna say because it's not my story to tell, but it was just like, he doesn't get it. Like, he doesn't get it.
Who do you think's more to blame in this situation, David or Jason, or equally?
I think it's equal blame. Obviously,
Yeah.
he's doing this stuff for David and stuff, but I do think Jason is getting something out of it. In all honesty, I really do. I know I know, because no one else would do this unless you got some sort of gratification, especially going that far. It's one thing for David to be like,
took
okay, I'll
it
do
way
it.
too far.
Yeah.
And the way he talks about it, he wasn't like, ew. He was like,
Yeah, he's like, it was great. It was wonderful. Like, it was, I slipped the tongue first.
way-
Like, why are you saying those details like that? Like, it's also just like, why would you,
But in a way, it is like the cult of David. So how I see it is like David is obviously Adolf Hitler, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Jason is just following orders kind of vibe. You know what I mean?
right.
Right. Sorry.
I thought you were going to be like, he's like the Ava. Is he like,
Oh, Ava? I don't think Ava I don't know much about Ava.
just like sucking a dick is what I meant, like sucking David's dick.
Oh, but he's actually doing crimes. He's like in the concentration camps. You know what I mean?
Which one?
Oh, one of the good ones. One of the really prolific ones.
Who?
Jason. Jason's a
Oh.
Nazi concentration camp killer.
Is this a Schindler's List reference?
I'm just making an analogy because a lot of so World War II trivia. A lot of the guards who committed mass genocide said we were just following orders, right? So that's like a famous kind of proverb of I was just following orders.
Right.
So David is Adolf Hitler,
Right, because when we
and Jason is, let's say, well, Goebbels it's hard to. Yeah, he's a concentration camp killer. He's a mass murderer. Jason, and he was just following orders.
He's like Christoph
You with me?
Waltz.
You with me?
in Inglourious
Yes,
Basterds.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you. So,
it.
okay, great.
Like with tongue, they start making out. And at this point, we're like 5 seconds in, and I'm like, this is it. This is what I wanted. I got what I wanted. I'm out. Like, we can end this. And I'm like, Seth, like, I'm ready to tell
He's
him.
coming now. He's coming into my mouth with his tongue so hard.
You could tell his tongue is.
Did he grab my ass?
He grabbed your ass. He grabs Jason's ass because he thinks it's Corinna. At this point, the poor dude probably has a boner. And he's really making out with Jason. And I'm like, Seth. And I'm trying to get him to stop, but he thinks it's part of the bit. And he keeps going for 25 seconds. Literally, I'm not over-exaggerating. It's in the vlog. 25 seconds making out with this guy. And I'm like, I think I looked up to the ceiling and I'm like, God, what did I do to deserve such beauty?
And
I know.
Wait, what?
Beauty?
What does that mean?
He was like, oh, this is such a good moment for my video. He wasn't thinking about Seth. He was just like, score, great moment for my video. It's like, dude, if you were worried about it going that long, you could have stopped it at any minute. And Jason, by the way, you sick fuck, you could have pulled away too.
Yeah, why didn't he if the gag was done?
Yeah, exactly. Please stop. And then meanwhile, he's like got his tongue down his throat. Freak.
sitting there going, David, call it, please.
Yeah, I'm sure you were.
This
Just
reminds
call
me
it,
of
David.
wasn't there the situation with Greg Paul kissing
Yes.
the girls, and they thought, yeah, it's the
A lot of
same.
people said
So
that.
everyone, I'm gonna give credit to Creepshow Art for doing a video. She called him the Jake Paul light, and nobody was really giving David shit because there was so much hoopla around Jake Paul and Logan and stuff being the scandalous ones. But this is the exact same thing. It actually,
It's worse.
It's worse.
Yeah,
You're right.
it's
It's actually worse, and it's just how?
I mean, the Greg Paul one was pretty creepy, but this is worse. I mean, I feel
But
like
they're
the
tricking.
severity of it and
Right.
the amount
And they knew his background and how this would damage him and where he came from and all this stuff like that.
which they get into, which I think is the most important part about this video, which we'll keep
Bring
playing.
Corinna in. It's
Jason-
going on, and it is so aggressive.
They're making out super aggressive. And then I call Corinna into the room, and Corinna's standing right next to me.
By the
And
way,
then-
notice how
and then
he
I'm like,
acknowledges that he could end at any time, and he did when he called Corinna into the room.
Right.
So it was up to David when it ended. And he ended it after, 30 seconds, enough to thoroughly humiliate Seth.
like, Seth. And then Seth finally lets up after 25 seconds of making out with Jason. And he sees Corinna, and he just fucking loses it.
Yeah, it was great.
It was my
It was
favorite.
great.
You can't fake that.
It was
You can't
just-
fake
Wouldn't be
that.
something you could
No.
ever fake.
It was so perfect, and I feel so bad, and it's awful because poor guy had to go through that, and his friends are probably going to chew him out for that for the next 3-5 years of his life.
Boom, done, closed case. He knew exactly what he was doing. Wait, it gets even worse. It gets even worse. So
Have you sent this to Seth?
Yeah, Seth's seen it.
Have you talked to him?
Yeah, I talked to him. I was just sending my condolences, and I feel like because people have called him a liar and called him a clout chaser and all these terrible things for trying to talk about this for so long that he didn't know about this clip before it started circulating. But I was like, just so you know, I want you to see this so that you know that everything you felt was right.
Right. And that
it proves everything he said.
That's so crazy.
And even when he said there was a racial component, it was like, you're like, it could be, but like, it's hard to know, like, is there a racial component to this? But like, they say it. And so I even, listen to this part.
Well, as Seth tells it, the homosexuality is not so accepted in where he comes from.
Seth's from Compton.
Dudes kissing dudes is not so accepted.
Seth's from Compton, so it's like the perfect, like,
at least straight dudes kissing
it's literally
straight
the
dudes.
perfect setup. Like a guy from Compton, and I made him make out with another older man.
It's good for
25
Seth.
seconds.
It gets him some airtime. And
Seth was really
gets him initiated into the vlog.
He was as angry as he could have been.
Oh my God.
He was angry as he could be.
The way that you speak about David's vlog is like you got admitted to heaven. Like it's like you made it. Like what?
Airtime.
It's so weird. I didn't hear that part. That's so gross to me. These people are so.
Well, yeah, they justify it by saying he got good airtime.
He
got humiliated.
But then Seth also tells them that he's like uncomfortable. They're like, yeah, he was mad about it or whatever like that. It's like if he tells you you're uncomfortable, doesn't want it in the vlog, like, and he's still convinced?
Listen to what David says right here. Listen.
It gets him some airtime, and
Seth was really
gets him initiated into the vlog.
He was as angry as he could have been, but he really couldn't.
He was just as angry as he could have been.
I'm so fucking.
Well, and then the fact that it proves it was racially motivated, because when Seth was telling his story, I was like, why did they call you? Because he's like, I just got back from the airport. I was going home. I was tired. He wasn't with them. And then David specifically calls me and tells me to come over. So I was like, why are they targeting you specifically? And then he says here, it was a perfect setup because he's from Compton, where homosexuality isn't accepted, and we knew that it would be especially bad for him, a black man from Compton, because kissing dudes, as Jason said, isn't accepted there. It's fucking
so like just insinuating like hate crimes for him and stuff like that. Like if he like goes back or people see it or whatever like that. Like it's so dangerous.
Yeah, and then Seth had to move to a new state. He literally moved out of state. And they did it to him again, twice, with gorillas. And now we know that there's racial motivation. And then he set him up the second time with a bunch of gorillas.
And like
it's so fucked up, dude. It's so fucked up. It's unforgivable. David needs to answer this. This shit is fucked up.
Like, apologize for it, first of all. Like, that could be the first step.
Bro.
The fact that he's blocking, taking down, like, just carrying on life like completely normal. It's, like, insane. It's insane.
First of all, owes Seth an apology for letting everybody call him a clout-chasing goblin and a liar and all this bullshit.
And maybe let your, like, dumbass audience know, like, hey, this is not cool, because they're still attacking Seth now. Saying, then they put on me, like, oh, well, Trisha, that has nothing to do with me. But these people are so warped. And, like, their brain, and so, like, David needs to address it and be like, this is wrong. Like, this is fucked up. So his fans have to attack Seth.
You're right.
It's crazy. That's all he has to say.
But then, like, the racial component, once he admits to that, it's like, oh, and then here's the best part. You know what? This video, I was going to leave this and let it go. But when this video surfaced, for me, it made everything so much worse. And then, to make things even better, David's going on a no bullying tour. Literally a fucking no bullying tour.
Oh my God. It's fucking nuts.
He's on the poster of a no hate tour.
So it's like one thing to like not take accountability but apologize, but now you're gonna be like, hey, here's how not to bully. What? Someone gets so angry at you and so
Wait,
pissed.
did they? I don't know if they removed him. Oh no, he's here. He's still here. All cute with his tongue out. Put your tongue in your fucking mouth.
Okay, well, I think that's the least of our problems.
Well, okay, that's a good point. Okay. True. David Dobrik is still on the no hate tour, who literally is made famous by being a fucking bully and assaults people on camera. Thanks. No hate. Hey guys, don't hate.
And just not respecting any consent. If someone's like, I don't want that in the vlog, and puts it in, like, anyways, like, just absolutely no boundaries, no consent, nothing. Like, that's.
I tweeted out. I thought it was pretty good. You told me. You rate this tweet. I said, sending David Dobrik on a bowling prevention tour is like sending me around the world to teach people how to lose weight.
I mean, honestly, it makes more sense because you are losing weight. So he has not stopping the hate at
Not
all.
a good
He's
analogy.
allowing people to keep spreading the hate.
But I don't know that I'm necessarily the person to teach anyone how to lose weight.
You're more capable because you're trying to lose weight. He's not even trying to stop the hate.
Okay, let me
He's just
rethink
letting
this
his
analogy.
fans encourage the hate.
Let me rethink this analogy. Sending David Dobrik on an anti-bullying tour is like sending Adolf Hitler out to preach religious tolerance.
Hitler's dead.
Right.
Okay.
So he can't go on a tour.
I
Good
think
point.
That's it.
I'll keep thinking.
Okay. I never heard that last part. No wonder their fans are so like church is bitter and all stuff like that because they themselves are saying it's good because you got airtime for the vlog. Oh, what kind of rationale is that?
Oh, it's
Why
the
are
most
you even talking
cynical.
about it?
It's the most cynical, fucked up rationale ever. It proves that David sees people as pawns in his fucking like. There's a hierarchy and there's pawns and like and depending on how game you are and how willing to debase you are, that's how you move up. Like Jason is the most. He has no pride. He has no filter. He's willing to debase himself in the most sinister, fucked up, demeaning ways possible. And so he's his golden boy, of course.
Yeah, of course. Of course. That's so insane. Oh my God. That's so crazy.
Okay.
I'm so confused.
So then there's a whole nother thing is that I was looking at his new episode of Views because I saw like on some of his TikToks, people were like, yo, you need to address the Seth thing. And then I would go back and all of them were gone. And then I went to his podcast and there was no comments about Seth. And it just made me feel bad because it's like, I'm doing so hard to do awareness and get some justice for Seth. But so we did some tests on his video because I suspected he was blocking words. Yeah. And so
Oh my God.
here we have a
Did he block Seth's name?
he didn't block Seth's name because I think that'd be too obvious. But what he did block, I have a list here. Okay, so here's how we conducted this test because YouTube has its own filtering out of words, and we want to make sure that it was David and not YouTube. So we left a word on his, and if it didn't go through, we went to our own channel and then saw if it went through. So, for example, kiss and kissing are blocked out of his, straight up blocked from his chat. So he's being sneaky about it.
Oh, right. Because if you
can say Seth, but kiss and kissing is blocked.
Is he deleting the comments or is
No,
there...
Guys came in here.
it's
we're gonna do
automatic.
This whole bit. 'Cause
Is being removed. But by the way, so you go, oh, maybe that's YouTube. We went to our own channel and wrote that, and it did go through.
Oh, really?
So he is blocking.
with the security guard. So
You can bleep
Oh.
it. You can just bleep it, Dan.
bit where we're gonna test to see. How
And then there was more. We did a bunch of tests, but yeah, you can see when you go to the H3 podcast and type does not get removed.
Oh my gosh.
It's pretty crazy.
Wow. So he's just like deleting things, deleting TikToks and
Yeah, filtering out comments and stuff.
wow.